Hello everyone, this is Max Schroeder Productions here with a movie review on one of my favorite comedy films, and that is Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost was released on June 5th, 2009. It was directed by Brad Silberling, and it was based off of the 1970s Saturday morning show by Sid and Marty Krofft, Land of the Lost. Now this film was made probably 20 plus years after the cartoon, don't know exactly when, but yeah, it was released based off of that TV show. The film made a domestic $49,438,000, and worldwide it made $68,777,000. And it was ranked number 3 on its opening weekend, making only $18,837,000. It didn't make as much as the top 2 films of the weekend, which made those 2 films, I believe one was the Disney Pixar movie Up, which made about a little over $44 million. So I'm not quite sure what the other one was, but I know it didn't make as much money as those 2. This film was distributed by Universal Pictures, one of my favorite studios I love to study on and also watch and also get films from. And this was filmed in different parts of California. It was filmed in Lancaster, the La Brea Tar Pits, Dumont Dunes, and Trona, California. And then the rest of the film was recorded on sound stages 12, 27, and 28 on the Universal lot. Now, this film stars Will Ferrell as Dr. Rick Marshall, Anna Frail as Holly Cantrell, and Danny McBride as Will Stanton. And the film starts off as a kind of a eerie, dark beginning where an astronaut is stranded in a parallel universe and is trying to figure out how to contact people, and he's deserted in this weird portal between time and dimension. And then later the astronaut we supposedly think is killed, and it goes into an NBC like Today with Matt Lauer, and it is with Will Ferrell, Dr. Rick Marshall, talking about tachyon amplifiers. I hope I got that right. And he's also a paleontologist that's also trying to study time warps. So then they have a big dispute, and then 3 years later he talks about time travel, and he makes this gadget that later on that is called a tachyon amplifier, and in order to get it boosted and started, it plays show tunes, and yes, I mean show tunes as in a some sort of like old show tune from like the 50s or 60s, like it's got like God I Hope I Get It or something like that. So then Dr. Rick Marshall and Holly Cantrell, she is also studying his work, and he wants to experiment. They go out to a deserted desert land where they discover that there's really big presence of tachyon radiation. So then they go into this cave, and they're on a raft with the guy in charge of the gift shop that runs the cave as well. It takes them on a tour of the cave, and then upon this tour there is an earthquake, the biggest earthquake ever known, hint the TV show. And so they end up traveling through the cave, and then all of a sudden they go down a giant waterfall. And then they end up in the parallel universe where they find many different things, like a Viking ship with an airplane, a house, a motel, 50s motel, and later on they find the Golden Gate Bridge, they find a toll road, a Hummer, and then there's also dinosaurs mixed in this parallel universe as well. But they meet a monkey person named Chaka, who is played by Jorma Taccone, I hope I got that right. And he's this character, Chaka, is also in this parallel universe, and he tries to help Rick Will and Holly out of the Land of Lost and trying to figure out how they can find the tachyon amplifier. As they go through the jungle, they get chased by a T-Rex. They now later name him Grumpy, and based off of the TV show too. And as they go retreat in this cave, but upon this, when they're in the cave, and then later the next day, they see a big ray of light, and then Rick Marshall has this like in his head like some sort of lizard-like creature that's asking him for help. And then once they trek into the forest and find what seems like a temple or like ruins and stuff, they later find out that it's run by these lizard people, otherwise known as, they call them Sleestaks. And once they get into the pylon, they go into the pylon and find another gold Sleestak by the name of Enoch, who is voiced by John Boylan. And so Enoch tries to help them find the tachyon amplifier and helps them go back home to their actual universe. Once they go and search for the tachyon amplifier, they notice that during that time it was moving. So then they go into the desert wasteland and find many things of the alternate universe, that everything seems to like come into like a junkyard sort of everything that goes through the time warp. Like, for example, you find their raft, you find Compsognathus, velociraptors, and then all of a sudden an ice cream truck falls in there, which is kind of funny. And so then the T-Rex Grumpy is there, and then there was a new dinosaur, an Allosaurus, who chased them all, Dr. Rick Marshall and the characters, all through the desert wasteland. And they kill the Allosaurus and find the tachyon amplifier, but then it gets taken by a pterodactyl that has a nest in the volcano, so then they have to go all the way up to the volcano and get the tachyon amplifier. But as they try to take the tachyon amplifier, they awake baby pterodactyls, which then the show tune is their lullaby. So then the characters try to sing the show tune to get the baby pterodactyls to fall asleep. And then later on, they go and have like a sort of like a fun day at this motel pool that's in the deserted wasteland. And then Holly goes and travels and finds another pylon, and then goes and finds another Sleestak named Lazar, who warns them about Enoch, the same character I talked about earlier, about how evil he is. So then she goes back and tries to warn him, but then gets abducted by Sleestaks. So then Rick Marshall and Will have to go save her, and upon doing that, they find two Sleestaks like shedding. They get in their old skins and then save Holly from being sacrificed to the Sleestak god. And then later on, Enoch has the tachyon fire and tries to destroy the world, and tries to have his Sleestak army invade our world from the alternate universe. So then as this happens, Rick Marshall fights with Grumpy the T-Rex, but gets swallowed and later gets deuced out. So, and there's a little plot twist of why he was grumpy there. I'm not going to say it. So then as he comes out, the T-Rex and him become good friends, and then they go into the pylon and they fight with Enoch. And once this happens, the door to their present location, their universe, is closing soon. So then they jump in. Will stays with Chaka and then goes and meets his people and his like environment, and stays in the alternate universe where Dr. Marshall and Holly go back to the universe, come back safe. Then later, Dr. Rick Marshall again is on Matt Lauer, NBC Today, and talks about a new book, which is a funny title. And then the show ends right there. So, some things about this film, some interesting trivia that I found doing some research. It was a box office flop, according to the studio, and according to the Ron Mayer, the president of Universal Studios, said at a 2011 film awards banquet about when Land of the Lost, I think, was being screened, he called it crap. He basically said like this film is not what it's supposed to be, and it could have been better, but the filmmakers made it worse. Now I'm not sure what he meant by that. Maybe early on in production or like pre-production of the film, maybe it was try to be very similar to the TV show rather than as it is now. It's sort of like an adult comedy, because it is rated PG-13, and there is a lot of like, you know, sexual jokes and adult humor throughout this whole film. It's not like it's kind of a family-friendly film, but really there's some stuff that's like, it's like, whoa, too much. It's adult humor, sort of say. Originally it was going to be R-rated because of the humor, but they trimmed it down to now it's then, as we all know now, it's PG-13. But if you look at the deleted scenes, if like you get the Blu-ray or the DVD, if you watch the deleted scenes, there are some scenes that are like very, very explicit. As to, I see why they took those out, but instead put them as a bonus feature and trimmed the film down to a PG-13 rating. I could see why. And also what was interesting too, and that I looked at the trivia, is that Jack Black and Kirsten Dunst were originally going to be on this film, but then I think they chose, or the producers and directors chose not to, because I think later on both of them did films involving being in a forest. Like I think Jack Black did the recent movie Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and I think Kirsten Dunst, I forgot the name of the film that she was in, but she did another like jungle feature around the same time. So my thoughts on this film: I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. It's worth the watch. Like, it's not the best of movies out there, but it's definitely like worth a watch. It's definitely almost maybe close to like a guy's film almost, but not quite. But this film is just, I love it. I love the humor. I love the comedy. Will Ferrell is such a great like comedic actor. I was in the dinosaurs, so I love the dinosaur. You know, I love Grumpy. I love the pterodactyls. I'm big on I'm a dinosaur fanatic. So yeah, I would give this film like watch it whenever you know you want to watch a movie with like friends or family. Like this would be the movie to like watch and have just like a good time, you know, have a laughter or two. And this movie is definitely worth the watch. It's a great, hilarious film. I highly encourage it. If you're into dinosaurs too, definitely watch it too. And if you just know it's like some of Will Ferrell's films, like this film is definitely one of his funny ones, but not as good as, you know, like Step Brothers or Elf. But it's definitely a great comedy film. So that is my review on Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell. And so if you like, please subscribe to my channel, Max Schroeder Productions. Leave a please comment and tell me what you think about this movie. Like whether, you know, you think it's good, you think it's kind of bad. What do you think they could have done better? Maybe is there a possibility there could be another like a revision of Land of the Lost? I don't know. And also tell me what you think about like the 70s like Saturday morning TV show, because I used to watch the TV show a lot when I was a kid, like on DVD when I had the collection, the complete series, and I liked it, even though it was just little like puppets and stuff. You know, the Slee Stacks weren't all that. They were all right, but not as like these ones. But yeah, if you compare, like I would say watch like the TV series and then watch this film or vice versa, and try to compare it, like how they how you compare the two, because it really is quite interesting the way the story plot is kind of similar, the characters are a little bit different, as well as plot is a little bit different. But again, just let me know what you think. Again, this is Max Schroeder Productions.